Okay, so it's like about January 2nd, like about maybe 5 in the morning or something like that. And I just gotten home from my shift at Central Station New Year's Day. And I was on Gaydar back in the old days, and I wasn't getting any action under my regular profile. So I decided I felt like something a little bit dodgier. So I went to this profile that I used to use called Mr. Fister. And immediately, almost within seconds, this chat box pops up, and with a message saying, come grape fuck me now. And I'm just like, ooh, wow. I've just been dicked over by this guy that I've seen that turned out to be a whore and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, wow, that sounds good. It's like a little bit of an anger fuck. And I asked him for photographs, and he sent me some photographs with no heads. And they were like 1970s kind of things, really old. And I'm like, no, sorry, dude. I need face pics. And he's like, don't worry, I'm going to be wearing a Git mask. And I'm like, the alarm bill's just kicking off. It's just like, no, it sounds really dodgy. I said, look, mate, if I don't know what you look like, I'm not coming over. I've been burnt too many times. He's like, no, serious, I'm genuine. I said, look, mate. He says, listen, if you can get here within a half hour, there's 150 in it free gas money. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Now it's like, this sounds more promising. So I went to this guy's house, and it's in Camden, just off Regent's Park. And I got this big, huge black gate, but there's no intercom. And I had his phone number because I made him call me because I wanted to hear his voice. I said, listen, I'm standing out here. And he's like, oh, just hold on 5 minutes, and I'm just not ready yet. And I said, dude, it's right in the middle of the street in a really exclusive neighborhood, and I'm standing here just dressed in black with a hood up. I look really dodgy. I'm just going to go. He's like, no. I said, listen, if you just open this gate, and I can walk out. I don't mind waiting in the courtyard, but I'm not waiting in the street. It's all good idea. So he opens the gate, and I go in. There's this huge, gigantic black Land Rover. Didn't even ring a bell for me. And there's this big, huge, giant house. And so I waited for a couple of minutes, and then the door creaks open, and it's just like, count to 45, then come upstairs. And I'm like, okay, so I count 40. Then I got into the house, and I took my boots off, and there was just like two huge, gigantic white dogs, the whole place just white, and God knows what those dogs had seen, because they didn't even make a flinch, you know. So I walked up the stairs, up to this, a couple of floors, to this huge, gigantic bedroom, and there's this giant 6-foot-something dude with a big gut that's like touching the bed, and his fucking hairy back, all doggy style on this huge, gigantic bed in the middle of this room. And I'm just like, oh God, what have I gotten myself into? It's like, okay, just grin and bear it. Take one for the, you know, you're horny. It's like, well, just get it over with. So I go to the edge of the bed, to the top. And there was like, you know, all the supplies and stuff like that, and the trees and stuff like that. There's no money that he said. And I said, oh, you dickhead, I'm not getting fucked over. You said there's going to be 150. There's nothing fucking there. I'm fucking off. Piss off. And he's like, oh, God, no, sorry. And he gets up, and he goes into this huge wardrobe with just a big closet, walking with like all these identical black suits lined up in white shirts. And there's this envelope and stack like that full of cash. And he gives me 350s, and I put it in my pocket. And then he goes doggy style in the bed, and then I just start face porking him, and really, really hard. And his nose starts bleeding. And remember, this guy's in a Gimp mask. I'm like, oh my God, his blood's getting all over my dick. Oh my God, it's like, what should I do? It's like, well, I'll flip him over, so it's like the blood will just drip down the middle, so I can continue, get him to DTBJ. So I consider, and twice he throws up on his own face, and he says, oh, sir, I've got to go to the bathroom, I've got to go clean up. And I say, yeah, go for it. And he goes to the bathroom, and he comes, after a couple of minutes, I hear, sir, do you mind if I put on a comfortable mask? I'm saying, yeah, go for it. And the guy comes out with these ladies' pantyhose with the fucking legs sticking off like that, a hole cut here, and there's all like beardy kind of stuff sticking out there. And so he's like, you know, give me a DTBJ again. And like, and after about 5 minutes, it's like, all the saliva stuck around here, the stockings and the hair. He couldn't breathe. He's like, oh, I gotta stop. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, no problem. I said, I'm gonna go have downstairs and have a joint. It's like, yeah, cool, but before you go, put that money away. You don't know who I am. I could just, like, you know, steal you blind. He's like, you'll never know, you're so wasted. He's, oh, yeah, I've been partying here all weekend and blah, blah, blah. So we He goes downstairs, and I put my shorts down, and I follow him down, and I pass this big, huge sitting room, overlooking the park. There's this big glass table in the middle of it with like a keyboard, like a music keyboard, and what do you call it, a monitor. And so I said to him, I got down to the downstairs, and he's had his back to me as he was like putting music on that was in a stereo system through the wall. I said, "Oh, you're a musician?" And he said, "Yeah, I am." And I could see all the hair stand up on his back. And he said, "Yeah, I am, and I'm a very well recognized one at that." And I said, "Oh, really? Who are you?" And he turns around, sort of like this kind of look, with his fucking witch hair, because he'd just been wearing a gimp mask and ladies' pantyhose on his head, and his hair was everywhere, and he just looked a mess. And I looked at him and was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Everybody in the world knows who I am." And it's like, sorry, I don't recognize you at all. Who are you? I don't know if I've never seen you before. It's like, "No, everybody in the world knows who I am. Everybody." I said, "Miss, I'm going to be honest with you. You could be Jean-Michel Jarre, Mike Oldfield, Ferraro. I know nobody knows who they are. It's like everybody knows in the music. Nobody knows what they look like." It's like, "I have no idea who you are. I'm really sorry." And he says, "Look at me very closely. Everybody in the world knows who I am." I mean, I must admit, I was pretty wasted myself. And I get up to him really close, and I'm just like, I see this thing here, and I'm just like, "Are you George Michael?" And it's like, "Of course I'm George fucking Michael. Who else would I be?" And it's like, "Oh, hi, I've heard your music." So we were hanging out for a few hours, and we were chatting, having a nice chat and stuff like that. He's a very nice man, very, very nice man. And halfway during the chat, he stops, and he says, I don't do this kind of stuff normally. I was like, "What do you mean this kind of stuff normally? What do you mean you don't do it?" "Well, it's like this, all this, like, with the gimp masks and all the stuff." And it's like, so I said, "Mate, you don't have to, like, talk to me or try and convince me of anything." It's like, I don't pass judgment. I don't care about anything. We all know about your reputation. And he says, "Okay." And it's like, and I said, "I'm not really into all this hard kind of stuff either. I was just using Mr. Fister because I wasn't getting any action at all on my regular profile." And he said, "What's your regular profile's name?" And I told him the name of it, and all of a sudden he just grabs my leg, and he says, "Oh my God, that's you?" I said, What do you mean? What's your spam?" And she's like, Is that you? That you're him?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's the problem?" She's like, "Oh my God, I've been wanting to message you for years and years and years, and you were just so hot and so, like, a builder and just fucking hot with a massive dick. And it's just like, there was just absolutely no way I would message someone like you. It would definitely turn someone like me down." He's like, I can't believe I've actually just been fucked by the great one." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I've just rape fucked my first A-lister and found out that George Michael is my #1 fan." He pissed me off in the end anyway, so I blocked him. So he was a nice enough guy, but he was a bit of a selfish little diva kind of thing. That's a whole other story. If you like my stories, why not join my mug club? You can enjoy your cup of morning swill while listening to my stories of absolute swill. We have a new mug design every day for each story, so please check the link.